Who is this little pig who looks exactly like Peppa and is watching the pig family? Is Madame Gazelle a vampire? Does Mummy Cow have a daughter she's hiding from everyone? These are the kinds of details we discovered by pausing Peppa Pig 1,000 times. One of these mysterious details appears in the episode Daddy Pig's Office. Zoom in right here. This is a picture of Peppa and George, but do you see how the image is black and white, almost like it's really old? And there's more. The little pigs aren't wearing their usual clothes. Putting these two facts together, it really looks like these two might not be George and Peppa at all, but Daddy Pig is a child with another little girl. Who could she be? A young Mummy Pig? Or a sister of Daddy Pig who still hasn't appeared? What's even stranger is that this mysterious little pig appeared in another, much more recent picture, but she hasn't aged a single day. We can see that picture in Mummy Pig's new office. Don't see it? Don't worry, just zoom in right here. In this picture, George is standing next to a little pig who looks exactly like Peppa. The difference is that she's wearing a polka dot dress instead of her usual dress. But here's the thing, that's the exact same dress the little pig in the black and white photo was wearing. That colorless picture must be really old if it doesn't have any color at all. So how does this girl who looks like Peppa still seem to be a child? And this is only the beginning, because I paused Peppa Pig 1,000 times, and what I found will give you chills. The moment has come! Let's enjoy another Cinewave together! One particular detail about the pig family's house makes it seem like there might be something magical about it. You know that door underneath the stairs? Somehow that exact same door leads to two completely different places. In the episode Secret Room, for example, we see that the door leads to a closet, but in the power cut, things get much stranger, because Daddy Pig goes down into the house's basement through that exact same door. Then, in the episode Jumping Stick, the door goes back to leading to a closet again. Even so, it isn't exactly the same as before, since the closet is now storing a lot more items than it used to. How can the same door lead to both a closet and the entrance to a basement? The mysteries inside the pig family's house don't stop there, and the next one makes it seem like someone could be hiding in Peppa's bedroom. After the house was renovated, the star of the show got a bedroom all to herself, but she still sleeps in a bunk bed. The bottom bunk, where George used to sleep when the two of them shared a bedroom, is always empty and has no real reason to still be there. But zoom in on it. Did you notice that the bottom bunk has curtains? If someone slept there at night and closed the curtains, Peppa would never see that person, and that might be exactly what's happening. Not every bizarre detail involves the pig family, because Madame Gazelle also seems to be hiding a secret, the secret that she's a vampire, and there are several clues pointing to it throughout the series. During the pumpkin party, Peppa's teacher talks to Susie. Now zoom in on the mirror behind her. Dottie's reflection isn't showing up in the mirror, even though she's standing right in front of it. In many legends, vampires don't have reflections. To make things even stranger, Madame Gazelle was Daddy and Mummy Pig's teacher when they were children, which is shown in the episode Playgroup Star. In other words, Madame Gazelle is much older than Peppa's parents. Even so, look at her face. She already looked exactly the same as she does today, and it seems like she hasn't aged a single day. And what supernatural creature is known for not aging? Vampires. This is one of those cases where there are so many unexplained coincidences that it becomes hard to believe they weren't intentional. Another character who seems to be hiding a secret is Mummy Cow, and we started thinking that because of the episode London. Zoom in on this train station. Look, Mummy Cow is right there, accompanied by a little cow. Looking at them like this, they almost seem like mother and daughter. But this girl, named Carol Cow, has never appeared in the episodes focused on Mummy Cow, which always made it seem like she was single. We didn't even see this little girl when Mummy Cow married Mr. Bull. So if that's the case, what is the real connection between Mummy Cow and Carol? Are they really mother and daughter? Or is Carol a more distant relative, like a niece Mummy Cow was visiting in this episode? Why don't you comment #Carol down below and tell us who you think this little cow really is? The interesting thing is that Carol Cow has appeared other times, sometimes all by herself. Take a close look at the audience in the episode Mr. Potato's Christmas Show. Did you notice Carol Cow sitting among the other children? But wait, how is she here? The children in the audience are part of Peppa's school class, but Carol isn't one of her classmates. What could this girl be hiding? Speaking of Peppa's classmates, something very strange happened at her school during the episode Move to Music. At one point, all the children started dancing. Well, almost all of them. Pause right here. Pedro Pony is the exception. He simply stayed completely still while everyone else danced. And it looks like the boy found all that dancing pretty strange because he looked at his friends with a very confused expression. Did he notice something he wasn't supposed to at that moment? Some fans believe he realized he was inside a cartoon in this scene because it's so absurd for everyone to suddenly start dancing out of nowhere. We don't have any solid proof of that, but we can agree that Pedro Pony was acting pretty strange in this scene. Not many people know this, but Mummy Pig is a children's book author, and maybe she works for Mr. Potato. Take a look at the story she wrote in the episode Mummy Pig's Book. The character on the cover is a coconut that can walk and talk, very similar to Mr. Potato and other celebrities in the world of Peppa Pig that are foods instead of animals. In other words, maybe Mummy Pig works for Mr. Potato, writing books about the characters who appear in his programs and shows. But that book might not be an isolated case. When we go into Mummy Pig's new office and zoom in on the bookshelf, things get even stranger. She seems to have written several books about these Mr. Potato-like creatures. Considering the kind of books Mummy Pig writes, it's fair to believe that she wrote these too. The cool thing is that the flashback in the episode Playgroup Star shows that Mummy Pig seemed destined to become a writer ever since she was a child. If you look at the drawing Mummy Pig made when she was little, you might recognize this pineapple man. He is one of the characters featured on the covers of the books she wrote as an adult. In other words, Mummy Pig was already coming up with the characters for her books when she was still a child. It's amazing how the show included such an important detail about Peppa's mother, even though almost nobody noticed it. And in the playroom that was built during the Pig family's home renovation, there's another very curious book. Zoom in right here. Mr. Dinosaur is on the cover. Wow, so there's actually a Mr. Dinosaur book. Considering that Mummy Pig is a children's book author, could she have written this book to get George interested in reading and help him learn how to read? After all, she knows her son is obsessed with dinosaurs. If that's true, it's actually really sweet of Mummy Pig. While those details were placed there on purpose, others look more like mistakes. In the episode Funny Music, the Pig family is unpacking musical instruments when Mummy Pig suddenly pulls an instruction manual out of the box. But wait, go back a few seconds and zoom in. There wasn't any manual inside the box. It appeared out of nowhere just for Mummy Pig. So does Peppa's mother know how to magically summon instruction manuals and just never told us? Or is it simply a silly little animation error? You know what would be awesome? Subscribing right now and getting all our videos straight on YouTube. But that doesn't even compare to the mistake in Detective Club, because this one is seriously bizarre. Everyone is used to the characters in Peppa Pig always having their faces pointed toward the screen, even when they turn around. But zoom in on Mandy Mouse. Whoa, her face disappeared. Very few people noticed this because she was moving so fast in her wheelchair. But anyone who did notice definitely walked away with a little trauma and probably a nightmare to have later that night. At least the mistake that happens in the episode Richard Rabbit Comes to Play isn't quite as creepy, but it's still pretty strange. Pause and look at Richard's dinosaur. In this episode, his dinosaur is purple, but if we take a look at other episodes, we can see that his dinosaur is red. What happened that made Richard's toy suddenly change colors from one episode to another? And what about the episode Traffic Jam, where Miss Rabbit basically breaks every law of physics? Don't know what we mean? Then let's zoom in on this scene together. Her ears are going straight through the roof of the car, almost as if there weren't any roof there at all. As far as we know, rabbits can't pass through walls, or through car roofs either. The Pig family's attic is one of the most mysterious places in their house, and there are a few secrets hidden up there that almost nobody noticed. Take a look at this corner of the attic and try to recognize this object. It's the toy horse that Auntie Dottie sent to Peppa and George in the episode Horsey Twinkletoes. It looks like the little pigs didn't play with the horse all that much, and it eventually ended up being stored away in the attic. Still in that same attic, we can find another toy that had already appeared in the series. Zoom in right here. It's the exact same ball that appeared in the episode Piggy in the Middle. It's impressive how the show's animators don't forget to include these kinds of details that only the most observant fans are able to notice. But what would you think if we told you that a Peppa Pig character simply disappeared in the middle of an episode without any explanation? This is one of the biggest mysteries in the entire series, and we're talking about it right now. In Tiny Creatures, a lot of children appear together, and one of them is Emily Elephant. But let's skip to the end of the episode and check the group one more time. Everyone is still here, except Emily, who has disappeared. There's even an empty space that looks like it's exactly where she was supposed to be. The worst part is that nobody seems to have noticed her disappearance, and we're never told where the girl went. Something very strange could have happened to Emily, but it's possible we may never find out what really happened in this episode. We've prepared 2 videos you're going to love. Pick one and keep having fun here with Teen Videos.